Hey you, it's me, Curtis P, and it's time for some coffee. Starting off with the biggest announcement from Google's event yesterday, the Pixel 2 and the 2 XL. But the first major spec that we have to talk about with the brand new device is the fact it doesn't have a headphone jack. So if you were waiting for a headphone jack, it's not gonna be there. Also, let's not forget this moment last year. You know, Google making fun of Apple for not having a headphone jack. So starting off with calling Google a hypocrite because, you know, basically, yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the device. So on the Pixel 2, you get a 5-inch display, and the XL2, you get a 6-inch display. Both phones feature front-facing speakers, the Pixel 2 coming in at black, white, and blue, and the Pixel 2 XL just black and white colors here. Both phones are IP67 dust and water resistant. They also feature an interesting new feature called Active Edge, which allows you to squeeze your phone to activate the assistant. So instead of like holding down a button like you've done in the past, you can now just squeeze your phone and then the assistant will pop up and be like, hey, you squeezed? Squeezed? Is that the action we're calling instead of like called? You called, you squeezed. It's weird, but anyway. As for a camera, you'll find a 12 megapixel rear camera on the device. It also supports a brand new portrait mode, but it doesn't require dual cameras like other manufacturers. Another interesting announcement, but also kind of a jab at other manufacturers being like, hey, we're better, we don't require 2 cameras, because they use machine learning to actually like interpret the photo and thus create like the fake blur background. Though when I heard that, I was like, this doesn't sound too good. 2 cameras, that's like a physical representation of 2 totally different pictures. It's much easier to discern like what the depth is. 1 camera and some machine learning, I get it. The machine learning is very good, but you know, I have some skepticism here. Now, using machine learning, of course, they can create the true depth map, which helps create this photo mode. Along with that, when you're taking video, there's optical and electronic image stabilization, so both of them working in tandem to create an ultra smooth picture. Google also announcing motion photos. It's basically like Apple's live photos. There's really nothing else to say there. The Pixel 2 comes in 64 and 128 gigabytes in storage, starting at $649 or $749. Though if you're in Canada, that costs $899 or $1,029. So the lower end Pixel is already sort of in the higher end of the phone market though. And if you want to jump into the Pixel 2 XL, it also comes in at 64 and 128 gigs in storage, but it costs $849 or $949 US. But of course, if you're in Canada, that's $1,159 or $1,289. That's quickly encroaching on the iPhone X territory for pricing, and if I'm not mistaken, that's pretty much the same price as the Note 8. So yeah, definitely not a cheap phone that you're just like, oh yeah, I'll just pick up a brand new Pixel. No, it's kind of more like a flagship phone now, and they've priced it like that. The phone will be coming out very soon in Australia, Canada, Germany, India, UK, and the US. And a fun little side note, if you buy yourself a Pixel right away here, you'll get a free Google Home Mini, which is one of the new devices that Google announced at today's event. So yeah, my personal opinion, the phones, they look really nice. The XL is the nicer of the 2 here. If you look at the regular Pixel, kind of looks kind of ugly, especially the screen on the front. Those bezels are huge at the top and the bottom. But overall, it's a good phone. If you liked the Pixel, this is an awesome upgrade for you. Though if you're just an Android fan, you might want to go with something like Samsung's S8 or maybe the Note, because it still has a headphone jack, and I just think those phones are just like way more beautiful than this phone. But if you're an iPhone person, this is probably not gonna sway you because that iPhone X looks amazing. And if you're already paying this price for the phone, you might as well just pay a little bit more and get the iPhone X. So since the Pixel smartphones don't have a headphone jack, it was time for Google to announce its own version of Bluetooth headphones, which they are calling Pixel Buds. The headphones allowing for easy control here. You can tap to start and stop music, or you can swipe up and down on them to adjust the volume, which is a nice feature. The Google Assistant is also built right into the device, and this is where it really shines here. Using the Google Assistant inside of the Pixel Buds, you can actually do real-time language conversion. So basically, I could talk to you in English, but you could talk back to me in French, and it would just convert it in my ear and speak to me. That is crazy. That is amazing. I want these just for that feature, even though I don't think I would ever really use that feature, but it's just freaking cool. The Pixel Buds will be coming out in November for a price of $159 US. Next announcement was the brand new Pixelbook, a new high-end Chromebook by Google. The new laptop is super thin and has a 12-inch touchscreen display. It also will run for 10 hours on a single charge. The system also allows for a type of fast charging, which is quite nice, and it's all done over USB-C. Google also announcing a new feature called instant tethering, which basically means if you have a Pixel phone and you have the Pixelbook, if you need some internet, Pixelbook will just automatically tether with the Pixel phone, just creating a hotspot instantly. It's a nice added feature, something Apple has done in the past, where if you have like a MacBook or an iPad, you can just go into Wi-Fi and be like, I would like Curtis's phone as my source for internet. And then it just creates a hotspot like that without really having to fuss with the phone. It's a nice feature. I use it all the time. I love it. So, hey, cool use of your hardware there, Google, to sort of do this. Now, no surprise here, Google has also built in their assistant into the Pixelbook. There's a brand new button right on the keyboard for it, so you can actually ask it questions, you can type it questions, or using the brand new Pixelbook pen, you can actually circle content on the display and get the assistant to look it up. The Pixelbook pen also allows you to write on the display or the screen, and it has a 10 millisecond latency. This is faster than the iPad Pro or the Surface line of devices. The Pixelbook is available for pre-order right now, and it comes in at a price of $999, which is definitely not cheap. And the pen is an extra $100 on top of that. So let's say like an easy $1,000 here for this setup. This was another thing that I was a little concerned about when they announced it at the event. $1,000 for a Chromebook, it just doesn't seem right just at this moment. I've used a Chromebook in the past. I really liked the idea of it, but the apps and everything, they just weren't there. It wasn't a laptop. It's like an internet browser that just has hardware around it. For some people, it may work great, and I love the idea of it, don't get me wrong, but it's just not there yet. So to say I'm gonna pay $1,000 for like a web browsing system, it's just not gonna happen. You might as well buy a lower end laptop or just get yourself a tablet, because that's basically what this thing is trying to be. Just buy yourself an iPad, you're probably gonna be happier. At least in my opinion. You know, I'm sure people are gonna yell at me because Android all the way, but yeah, you know. Next up, Google announced 2 brand new Google Home devices. One very small, one very big. Starting off with the Google Home Mini here. It's a brand new smaller version of the Google Home. Basically, it works the same way, just voice commands, you can play music over it, all that fun stuff, just in a smaller form factor. And then there's the Google Home Max. This is a huge new home speaker built for amazing audio. This system also integrates a brand new smart sound system, so the speaker basically adapts to the room that you put it in. It'll map the room and then properly adjust the volume accordingly. The brand new Google Home Max will be coming out in December for a price of $399 US. So it's an awesome new contender in the smart home market here. Sonos is also working on a brand new speaker, so if you want to rush out and get this one, I would wait until Sonos announces what they're gonna do. Also, let's not forget the HomePod is coming out sometime soon, though Apple hasn't really talked about that thing. And it basically does the same thing. You put it in the room, it maps the room, it's got great audio, so basically the HomePod and the Google Home Max are like the same device. Let's be realistic here. It's like Google looked and was like, yeah, that's a cool idea, let's just have that over here. And they did, so nothing against Google, you know, you gotta be competitive and everything, but the innovation level, very low. And last but maybe least here is the Google Clips camera. It's a weird new camera from Google. Basically, it's a new clip-on camera that takes photos for you. The camera detects faces and activities and will take photos at the best time. You don't really have to worry, it's just gonna take photos for you. Using its machine learning technology, it will detect the best scene and take little tiny like video clips, which you can then grab real photos out of in the future. Now, Google was quick to announce that the machine learning is all done on the device here. They don't send any information up to the cloud. It's all done on the camera, which is good because the last thing you want is that like a creepy little body cam that you wear all the time. Though when they started announcing this device, all I could think of was the fact that, hey, some engineers must have just recently watched The Circle. So yeah, if you want a camera like this for yourself, it comes in at $249, which is definitely not cheap. So yeah, I have a feeling this is just gonna be a flop and we won't hear anything else beyond that. But that's just a personal opinion. It could become highly successful, I just don't see it. So with all that, my question for all of you guys, what did you think about the announcements today? And are you thinking about buying anything? Let me know, comment section down below. Personally for myself, the new phone obviously looks very nice. Beyond that, I don't really know. I like the Chromebook, don't get me wrong, the Pixelbook looks very nice. If it was cheaper, I would be like, yeah, that's kind of a cool idea. I would totally think about getting one. Again, it's like, it doesn't have the apps that I would use, but I think the Pixelbook is great for someone who just uses the internet. But then again, you just use an iPad. It's very difficult to think about, but yeah. Phone is a cool idea. The Google Home is actually probably the one that I would buy first out of everything, because I just don't have a home device right now. And the idea of having like some sort of assistant in my house It'd be quite nice. So yeah, let me know, comment section down below. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit that like button and of course subscribe to the channel. I'm working on releasing new videos just like this one throughout the week, so make sure you subscribe so that you can stay up to date on all of that. You can also find out the videos just like this one on screen right now, so make sure you check those out. Well, until next time everyone, I'm Curtis Paradis. Have an amazing day.